I apologize for not I apologize for not bringing some popcorn to the audience. My book, Constables on Patrol, is a work of fiction. It's about a recently discharged Navy veteran who commences a career as a police officer with the New York City Police Department in 1946. During a routine check of business establishments on Broadway at 2 a.m, accompanied by a police captain, the officer discovers an open door to the entrance of a Chinese restaurant. As he entered the restaurant to determine whether anyone was inside, the captain proceeded to the side door entrance to the kitchen. The suspect, believed to be a burglar, came out of the side door, and seeing the captain, he fired a shot in his direction, but he missed. The captain, with considerable experience, returned the gunfire and shot the subject in his neck. The suspect staggered back into the restaurant and fell to the floor outside the kitchen, where he expired. The suspect appeared to be too well dressed to be a burglar, and evidence indicated that he was actually a hired arsonist, having a key to the restaurant and a business card of the owner in his possession. After having the body of the arsonist removed to the station house, the officer contacted the owner, and pretending to report that his restaurant was on fire, he convinced him to report to the station house, where he was immediately arrested. Subsequent events indicated that the restaurant owner operated a gambling establishment in Chinatown and was also involved in drug trafficking. The captain convinced an assistant district attorney that the illegal operations were conducted with the cooperation of high police officials. The attorney arranged to have the officer assigned to his staff with the consent of the police commissioner and designated him as a detective. When it appeared that the officer would testify before the grand jury concerning police corruption involving the commissioner's unit, which was charged with enforcement of public morals statutes, one of the members of that unit attempted to silence the officer and shot him as he was entering his residence, inflicting a superficial wound requiring hospitalization. The following is a brief conversation among the officers, the assistant DA, the officer's partner, and the police captain in the room at St. Vincent's Hospital where the officer was recovering. The doctor who patched me up was able to sew me up without any problems. Before I went to sleep, I drank that whole pitcher of water to replace some blood loss, and I think I'll be ready to go home today once I have my breakfast. His guests looked at each other in both amusement and shock as Val, his partner, volunteered. "I doubt that very much, Michael," the name of the wounded officer. "You just wait until you get a look at that day nurse on duty. She's an absolute knockout. I kid you not. When you'll change your mind in a hurry once she gives you back an alcohol rub. You'll want to stay for the rest of the month." The captain and Jim Murphy both laughed at Val's remarks. After his visitors departed, Michael succeeded in finding the device hanging from the bedboard, which he assumed would summon the beautiful nurse that his partner and the district attorney were enamored with. The nurse arrived almost immediately, as Michael greeted her with his big Irish face glowing and his dazzling white teeth exposed in a broad smile. The smile immediately turned to laughter as he again grimaced from the pain from the shoulder wound. when he saw the nurse. She was undeniably lovely, dazzling so. She was a beautiful young girl, godlike, with peaches and cream, blemish-free complexion, never exposed to the contamination of lipstick, makeup, or face powder. However, she was a nun, a sister of mercy, and already married to God, and committed to living under vows of poverty, chastity, obedience, and service to the sick and infirm. Well, young man, she asked, tell me what it is that you find so amusing. Michael, continuing to laugh, explained, I just had several visitors who were telling me how fortunate I was to be attended by a lovely nurse. They certainly didn't understate their description of you, sister. However, I noticed that you've already spoken for. I'm heartbroken. I hope that you're not so disappointed, the nurse responded, that you have lost your appetite. May I bring you some breakfast to cheer you up? Thank you. Oh, incidentally, if anyone buys my book, they get a bonus. Here's my photograph on the cover, taken in 1946, when I went on the New York City Police Department by the official department photographer.